Defensive line play against both Miami and ECU seemed massively improved compared to last year, and everyone's pointed to the strength and speed that you guys put on in the offseason. Is there any schematic differences that you guys are doing as well to help facilitate these changes?
Well, we tweak our game here and there, depending on the team that we're playing each week. Much of it's the same as what Coach Pelini and Coach Rexis has preached in the offseason and during the spring. I feel like the biggest difference right now is that we have a little bit more experience. We have a couple guys that have been playing together now for a few years. We feel more comfortable together. So just I would say, we had a bunch of changes in the weight room and, on the field as far as our strength conditioning went. But a lot of the speed can be attributed to just the fact that we're more experienced, we feel more comfortable in our scheme, and the guys that we're playing with.
How does the chemistry amongst the defensive linemen, especially now that you're rotating a lot of guys in, how does that manifest itself? What can you guys do that you couldn't do last year because you know what the guy next to you is going to do?
Communication has been a big deal. Watching film together, chemistry has just been a huge part of it. We do everything together nowadays. Between watching film, being on the practice field together, you get to the point where you can kind of read people even just from body language, really. And like I said, that experience factor is huge because we see, the same sets, week in and week out. And when you continuously see something over and over again, you just get to the point where it becomes second nature that, maybe you see a particular back set or particular formation, something that we've been coached up on that Coach Rexis and Coach Pelini has really harped on. And that communication is just, spread throughout the D-line. We know what to look for and how to communicate that. So being on the same page has been really key in our success. And like I said, after playing with the same guys for, over a year now, some of the seniors, we've been together 3-4 years now. The communication just becomes second nature for us, and that helps us to play a lot faster than we have in the past.
Brendan Bryant mentioned the sack numbers already up. You only had 12 last year. I think it's 4 or 5 thus far this year. Brendan Bryant said that you guys wanted to triple the last year's sack number. Was that a goal that he just made up when I was talking to him, or was that something that you guys discussed before the season?
No, absolutely. That is something we have definitely discussed in the past. Excuse me. Coach Edwards is a guy that has really preached on making plays as a D-line. Now, obviously, that's within the scheme that we're playing. It's not like we're trying to do our own individual thing. But, 12 sacks isn't very good for a D-line for an entire season. That's, one a game for the whole D-line for the entire season. So we've really discussed as a D-line, playing better means obviously being in more plays, making more tackles, more TFLs, and more sacks, obviously. So tripling that number that we had last year was, a definite goal for us. And, whether we're on track for it right now or not, it's something that we're going to continue to harp on and continue to play in the scheme, and those type of things will happen.
How has the depth of this defensive line, which has kind of manifested itself in the spring and the fall, how has that helped you guys who are out there, or, don't have to be every down guys anymore, and you're able to maybe go 100% on every play? Is that the case, or has nothing changed with the depth?
It's definitely changed. We have some younger guys that have stepped up into some leadership roles now, and that are comfortable enough and playing well enough in the scheme that they can play. That's something that we've struggled with in the past. So being able to, take a series or two and then have a series off is huge because when you get in the fourth quarter and you start getting worn down as a defense, that's when your mental errors pick up. That's when mistakes pick up, and those are the types of things that we really have to eliminate as a defense. Your big plays most of the time, they're going to come off of mental errors. So when you have guys that can, play and we have more guys that can play on the D-line, we have more depth, we start to eliminate those factors, and that's when we start to eliminate those plays and we play better as a defense altogether.
How has your game improved over the last year? It seems like you have an extra pep in your step a little bit early on this year.
Just being more comfortable within the scheme has been huge for us. Communicating as a defense, I know that when I walk on the field, I've been coached well enough by Coach Rexis and Coach Pelini and Coach Edwards that, I'm going to go out there and it's not going to be like, oh my God, what's happening? You walk out there and you know that you've seen the schemes that they're going to give us 100 times and more. For the most part, what you're going to see when you line up, you look at their splits, you know the down and distance, and you know what the back set is. And that's something that we're coached on a daily basis. So just knowing what we're going to see and communicating as a D-line has really helped me to play faster, to play better at this point.
What's been the biggest thing that you've seen watching on tape? You obviously played against Western Kentucky last year in that win. What have you seen carry over from Coach Taggart's move to USF on film?
Well, obviously, you are who you are, and as a coaching staff, that holds true. And I believe when Coach Taggart's team came over from Western Kentucky, they brought over a lot of the same offensive schemes. So we expect to see a lot of that this week. Obviously, some things are going to change with a different venue, different team. So we're not expecting everything to be cookie cutter trading over from Western Kentucky to USF, but we expect to see a lot of the same stuff. We're expecting a lot of that to hold true over from last year, and that's where we're going to go off of. We're taking into account their last couple games between McNeese and Michigan State, and that's how we're going to game plan.
Is it a more calm room knowing that last year you guys were able to beat Western Kentucky with a pretty strong defensive performance? Is there less anxiety knowing that it's been done before, even though kind of hasn't, going into this game defensively at least?
I wouldn't say that has factored in at all. We mentioned it briefly, that we had success last year, but we still had mental errors last year and mistakes that we have to correct. We just feel comfortable as a defense that we know how to game plan, that we're going to go out and execute our game plan and have success based on that. We leave the past in the past. Obviously, you want to build off your successes and failures, so we're going to treat it as such. We just know that walking in the game plan with what the coaches have given us, that's what we're going to execute.
What happened in that first drive that gave you guys so much trouble, and what you were fixing?
ECU runs a little bit of an up-tempo offense. We talked about it all week. We really game planned for that. That's how we practiced at an up-tempo pace. I can't give you a real great explanation other than that. It was something that we needed to come out, and we knew that they were going to be taking shots to begin with. We knew that they were going to come fast, and maybe we weren't quite ready for that. Whatever the case was, we buckled down after that first series and got our stuff together. So
How many plays were you in on that drive?
that first drive, I wasn't in at all, actually.
Were you the difference maker then?
No.
Did you come in at all? Gets fixed?
No, I wouldn't say that. We have a great defense altogether. Give every last one of those guys credit that played on Saturday or Thursday in this case.
Is the confidence high on the defensive side, knowing that you've put together two pretty strong games against two possibly elite offenses in this country? We really didn't feel too great after that Miami game. The way I look at it, there's two different ways to look at a game. There's the way the fans observe it, and there's the way we as a team observe it. I had plenty of friends and other coaches from other teams have told us, wow, you guys' defensive unit looked really great. The fact of the matter is, we had our own mistakes that we need to rectify. So, we feel good about the fact that we have improved from week 1 to week 2, which is, as coaches say, it's really characteristic of great football teams, that biggest jump from week 1 to week 2. But we just continue to build on that, and prepare for USF on Saturday. Coach Pelini mentioned that you can almost look at the Miami game and their, big offensive linemen, NFL-sized offensive linemen, and I'll draw a little bit of a comparison to USF. Is that something, obviously the defensive line would know firsthand what the offensive line looks like. Is that a viable comparison?
It is, they have a good unit there at USF, and they're bigger guys. So it's something that we take into account. It changes a little bit, what we're going to see. Size makes a little bit of a difference, but we're still going to play with technique, play within the scheme. But it is a viable comparison, yes.
So we can expect less 30 front this week?
We haven't gotten way too in-depth about what we're going to play just yet. Whatever Coach Rexis and Coach Pelini decide is going to be, the majority of our scheme this week, that's what we're going to roll with.
Thank you.
Greg, once you were able to take a look at the film, what were the things that you saw, the biggest things that were missed against ECU?
The biggest things that we missed, just my timing of the plays, my going too fast. I had to slow myself down.
How do you go about slowing yourself down? And I understand the environment was a lot different. The Miami game wasn't a full home field advantage. ECU, excellent environment they had there. Did that play a factor at all in speeding the game up for you?
Not really. It's just more of like relaxing and being more loose. Stop overthinking myself.
When was that what was happening late in the game? Coach Pelini mentioned that once the pressure was off, the offense loosened up. In that last series, you guys were able to go down the field with ease, and it looked like you were kind of free flowing. And obviously, the pressure wasn't on in that last series. Is that something that they've pointed to as just play like that, and it will all work out from there? That last series.
Well, basically, this just told me relax a little bit, relax more.
Do you think the relaxation comes with just confidence in the scheme and being in it long enough and getting the reps to sort of understand, regardless of what's going on out there, that you're comfortable to execute?
Yeah, it comes with all that, playing and getting more comfortable playing in a different environment, coming from high school to here.
Yeah.
It's an adjustment you have to make.
Everyone talks about the speed, the difference in speed between high school and college, and even Lucky, who might be the fastest guy on the team, was saying this is a whole different game from junior college today. How much faster is the game overall?
From high school to college?
Yeah.
It's a lot faster.
So, like, what are the things, is there any way you can even explain it to someone like me?
No.
No.
It's like people get there quicker than what you expect them to be. It's a lot. Because in high school, you play against some teams that's not so good.
Oh, yeah.
And then in college, it's like everybody has athletes. So everybody can do a lot of things.
How long do you think it took you to realize that this was going to be an every down sort of a thing? These guys getting to the ball faster, getting to you faster.
About the first play of the Miami game. About the first play.
It clicked in.
Yeah.
So now it's just about figuring out, or sort of getting that timing down so that you can get your own timing down with your receivers on the outside.
Yes.
When it comes to the rotation, we're going to harp on it. What are your thoughts on how it has helped and how maybe it's held back with your personal development?
Well, I wouldn't say it held back or anything. I wouldn't say any negative thing about it, but it's helped because, like, being that we go in and out, we help each other see, like, what's going on with the defense, what we're doing. We help each other out. We both want to see do what's good for each other. We want to see each other fail.
Have you guys been able to run as much read option as you guys had maybe hinted at doing in fall camp? You guys really wanted to move into that offense full time, and at least from my vantage point, it hasn't been able to manifest itself on the field. Is that the case, or have you guys been able to run it as much as you wanted to run it?
Well, we run it, but again, that's the coach's decision to call the plays.
Yep.
Coach talked about the slow start. Did you guys feel pressure once they started getting the ball in good field position? They scored right away. They had the long drive. Is that part of, you talk about being anxious and not being relaxed? Do you think there's a tendency there to, we've got to get this all back now, and for a young team that's, like he said, you heard him, it's not good. Do you think that contributed to the offensive struggles?
It may be that we're trying to move a little bit too fast.
When it comes to a team like ECU, you guys knew that they were going to put up points no matter how well the defense could play. Was that a defeatist mindset almost heading in, knowing that the offense, despite not having a great performance against Miami, had to put up points in that game in order to win?
No, we didn't look at it that way. We looked at it as we have to come out and execute as a team.
How is the execution going? Do you feel like the team offense executed better against ECU than it did against Miami?
Well, I feel like in both games we made some good plays and we made some bad plays, but we're getting better.
What was the best play that you had in the ECU game?
The touchdown.
Yeah, that was an easy one, I guess. Have you been able to develop any chemistry with the receivers when you were put into the #1 role? so late in camp. I imagine it'd be difficult to develop a bit of a rapport with William Dukes and the top level guys, because you were working with the second and third stringers and getting in there at the end with the first stringers. How have you gone about trying to manufacture some chemistry with these top guys, especially when you have a weapon like William Dukes out there?
Well, we just get extra throws, and we just work on our time in practice. We just go over our steps, go over the steps, and get the ball out on time.
Have they mentioned anything to you about maybe just throw the ball to William up in the air every now and again? I mean, nothing safety blanket or anything like that.
No.
How do you feel your reads changed from week 1 to week 2? You said after the Miami game that you really needed to focus on your reads and that you missed a couple of open guys. How do you feel like you did in the ECU game? Was there improvement?
Yeah, it was a lot of improvement, but I did some things. I missed a couple too, and here and there.
How do you feel Quez did? I mean, he ran the ball with some effectiveness.
Yeah, he did. He ran good. Quez played a good game to me. He was okay, but he made some mistakes, but it happens.
Anybody else? Thank you.
Thanks, Greg. Appreciate it.
Mhm.